all these white lies got me hypnotized. Get out of my head, get into my bed, I'm broken. It's only a matter of time, shifting my paradigms. You hold me, you hurt me, I'm sinking and drowning and I don't.
Hi guys, what do I have? I have the Honda CB300F. Now look at this. This is, if you ask me, the same exact Hornet 2.0 but with a bigger engine, right? No, this has a lot of changes to it. Now the first big change which I want to tell you is the engine itself. This is a 300cc 293cc single cylinder, 4 valves, and producing around 24.4 PS at 7500 rpm and 25.6 Nm of torque at 5500 rpm. Now this is a figure which is quite impressive because the price of this motorcycle has been slashed by 50,000 rupees. Now this is costing around 2,15,000 to 2,20,000 on road depending upon the model you select, and this is the key of the motorcycle. Now it has a lot of features to this. I mean, this bike has a lot of features. First of all is the Showa suspension, the front USG forks, 276 mm disc up front with the Nissan calipers, and there's dedicated oil cooling as well. It's not a FZ25 oil cooling system, it's a proper active oil cooling system. This exhaust is also quite stubby and it sounds like a typical Honda. This is a 220 mm disc at the back. Again, Nissan calipers, LED indicators and LED taillights as well. Grab rails are very chunky and this color looks nice and very understating. The bronze finishing on the engine casing also looks very nice. 6 gears on top but no slipper clutch. Now this, let me just get on the bike. So this is where you place your key and this is the instrument console. It's a small unit but it is LCD. It is having an LCD layout and this might remind you of the Honda CB650R, and that's my riding group. And thanks to Lucky and Crescendo Motors Big Wing for lending me this bike to review, and it has a lot of information on this. So this is a clock, it has Bluetooth connectivity on the Deluxe Pro variant, this is the fuel consumption rate, this is the odometer, it has 2 trip meters and traction control which can be turned off, ABS light, turn signal, and the placement of the horn switch and indicator needs to be get used to. Left and right indicator switch, traction control off system. This is a tachometer, that's the fuel level, and trip A, trip B, and the average fuel consumption. This is obviously the speedo. Let me just turn on the motorcycle, and if you talk about the ergonomics, you sit inside the bike, not like on the CB300R, which I love. It's very sporty. You sit on the bike in that bike, but on this bike you sit inside the bike and the handlebar is quite closer to you. So this is the hazard function which is already given. Engine switch, and these are toggles which you can check. You can connect your Bluetooth connectivity as well. That's also you can also check your voltmeter here. These are very small mirrors. If you have a riding jacket on, you might not be able to see perfectly at the back. Now let me turn on the motorcycle. Just firing the motorcycle now. So yeah, it's a typical Honda. So let's get riding right away. Now the moment I sat on this motorcycle, I can immediately find out this has a very good power in the lower end. Not so exciting in the top end like the CB300R, but this motorcycle is aimed at riding in the city itself. So very nimble and easily flickable. And the handlebar is a little shorter on this bike, and the turning radius is also very good. It doesn't require a lot of back and fro movement. You can easily take a U-turn. The only gripe I have is the mirrors. They are very small and the suspension setup seems to be on the firmer side. It pulls nicely. You can see the torque, and it definitely is a bit faster, I feel, in terms of low end performance compared to Gixxer 250. feel a bit of vibrations on this bike compared to CB300R, but this is priced almost a lakh rupees lesser, and which makes it a very value for money proposition, because even though now Gixxer 250 is retailing for almost the same price, but for the same money you're getting a 300cc motorcycle, and it's a Honda, it's a Japanese. And what else you want, man? Like, you can ride it in the city, you can also take it on the highway as well. Braking is actually very strong. Nissan calipers do not disappoint. Rear brake also is good. ABS intuition is slightly on the extensive side. It's easily flickable, and power is there as soon as you get good throttle. Talking about the motorcycle, like, I am absolutely comfortable, and I'm 6 feet tall. I don't find myself cramped. On the CB300R, I might find myself a little cramped, but these tank shrouds are actually perfectly fine for me. They are accommodating my knees perfectly. And switch gear on this motorcycle, at least the engine kill switch, seems to be taken forward from the standard Honda motorcycles, from the Red Wing, not from the Big Wing, because they don't feel premium. But these switches are different. They are recently introduced. Red line is marked at around 9,000 and it cuts in at 9,500 RPM. So I was able to take it at 127 kilometers per hour. I feel that this motorcycle can go easily up to 140. But I can tell you one thing very nice about this motorcycle. It has oodles of torque, man. The torque is very good. Just see this. See the thrust it has. And it's not very linear as well. And in terms of sound as well, it is similar to Honda, but it's very muted now. As I told you, braking is very nice. Let me take a U-turn. Now this needs to get used to, because you don't want to press your indicator again and again. Even in the lower speeds, this motorcycle feels at home. Like, I am right now in the 4th gear doing 50 kilometers per hour. Even in 6th gear I can do that with a bit of knocking, I would say. But overall I feel that this is a very, very city friendly motorcycle. If you don't like the sporty nature of the CB300R, this is more relaxed, more calm. Because if you want to ride in the city, this motorcycle is even better than that. That has, brisk performance in the top end, but this one is more laid back. And for the price, man, this is even closer. This is actually even lesser priced than the KTM Duke 200. And in terms of equipment, you have USB Fox, which I told you. There's a USB charger as well, which is neatly hidden here. And everything which you want. It's a Honda after all, Japanese engine, oil cooled, so no cooling water for maintenance part. And I would say it's a very interesting proposition from Honda. Maybe if Honda would have tried and made this a fair motorcycle like the CB300F, it would have been even more hit, because they're already having a 300R. But for 1 lakh rupees, it's an entry to buy a Honda motorcycle. It's powerful enough to cater the likes of the KTM Duke 200, and it is actually very close in terms of power delivery to the Gixxer 250. Thank you so much for watching. This is Shivansh Batam. Please subscribe to my channel. I will be bringing more interesting content on this bike, and ride safe.